And like, you get to draw a ton of cards with Kiora too. There's scheduled downtime tomorrow? Damn. Would you not get Decklist until game 2? No, you always get a game 1. Dang. I should have, I mean, I guess the Marvel, they didn't give me like a range of days, but if I'd known that, I would have maybe asked them if I could do it today. A lot of downtime lately. Man, that stinks, because I have plans in that afternoon, too. So, Gigantha has been revealed, so this looks like Timeless Amulets. Longer spike stream. So today I also can't do today. It's my grandpa's birthday, and then we're doing a Marvel Snap stream, too. I'll try to figure it out. Just not sure exactly what we're doing. Bruh, tier 1, thank you. Heron Banjo with the Twitch Prime. Zamo decks start to be game 1 if you can't find Moon. Yeah, for sure. Ranger-Captain definitely helps against this version, though. Like, sacking a Ranger-Captain is basically always buys you a turn. Oh, that would be exciting if they fixed the mutation bug. Yeah, I would assume metamorphic alteration. It'd be funny if they just, like, focused on picking another bug instead of, like, potentially Pioneer deforming card. Pioneer format defining card. So they get a Mycon's Gardens, okay. So they probably spend this turn getting an amulet, copying an amulet. And then we get to go Fervent Champ, Sophie, hit them, then sack Ranger-Captain to buy a turn. They would need, like, Grazer plus something to get me here. I think I just cast the sword. This, like, the downside is drawing a 1-drop I could cast post-combat, but the upside is getting in for an extra damage, which I think is probably more relevant, especially because most 1-drops have haste here, besides the Sentinel. Oh boy. Wow, what a draw. Yeah, so now we just upkeep Ranger-Captain sack. Although we even have... We're even attacking for lethal next turn. I mean, Ranger-Captain's so freaking good. Nice. Okay, so Blood Moon, Wear Tears, Feast and Famine, Over the Skull. Ratchet Bomb is okay. Want to keep some number of Solitudes in. Probably down to trim on Ephemerates too. Looks pretty good. Oh, sorry, putting in all 3 of these. Just like killer amulets. That's the only thing that matters. The main thing that matters. I gotta find an email. Yeah, we did 5 of the last league. Bombing on Silex on the draw. Both of them. I think it's just like you have a lot of cards that are bad. It's more about that than bringing in like particularly good cards. I think the ratio between Kaldra beats and Sophie beats. You use Sophie people more often than you Kaldra, but it's also because your Stoneforge Mystics die a lot, and you also will naturally draw your Sophies a lot. But also, Bomb and Silex are the exact same card. You're never oil countering your opponent. Okay, so they have a Gardens. The main phase copy to play around Wear Tear, which is, I believe, correct. Pretty good draw. So we hit our opponent for 5. Next turn we get to Feast and Famine, hit them into Blood Moon. But there's a chance that they have a turn 3 kill here. Have I tested goblins for the PT? We're gonna do that this week. I have a goblins list I think looks pretty juicy. Pretty nice. Yeah, Golos would be pretty tough too, for sure. Although we would still get to slam the Blood Moon. And another Fervent Champion would let us attack through the Golos. Oh boy. This is a Tyvar. So we played Tyvar with goblins recently. I do think that build of the deck is fine. I'm not like really opposed to that build of the deck, but I just want to play it with like no Tyvar, kind of see how that's feeling. But, like we pretty recently played Tyvar goblins. We trophied with that deck too, so it's not like that deck's unreasonable to choose. So they find another copy of Timeless Lotus, which is plus another 5 mana. Yeah, the mana's kind of tough, and like your sideboard also gets a lot better with no Tyvar. You're also a better what's the card? You're a better like the 2 mana goblin, the Horde Master deck. You get to play a Ringleader, but easier. Ringleader's kind of a nice card to have access to as a 1 of 2 to target. And I was playing Magus in the sideboard because of Vile. Maybe it could be on Blood Moon instead and bring them in against creativity. The Tyvar Devoted Druid list somewhere. Yeah, I mean it's on YouTube and the Stream Decker, and I believe did Moxfield already import the deck list? They said that they're going to very soon. Ooh, can we beat a 5/5 Ballista? Probably not right now, but with like good enough top decks, we could. Yeah, I don't know if they've imported all the deck lists yet, but they showed me how they're gonna have them like sorted by year, which I think is very fun. Oh, it looks like they are imported. Cool. That's awesome. That was really fast. Could also like concede, but I think that if I draw Wear Tear, I'm probably in good enough shape to keep playing. What's with the testing all the decks in the metagame instead of testing the deck you like the most over and over again? I don't have a deck I like the most. Is why. And we have a lot of time, and there's also like lots of Lord of the Rings cards we could be playing with too. Amulet. I mean, this deck is very fun, but it's not that bad. But it's like I think of the expected top metagame, I don't think it has a good matchup against Murktide or Scam or Rhinos, and I think that it's like it's not super far behind those decks. And I do think it is an okay creativity matchup, maybe even a good creativity matchup, but not by like so much. I think maybe it is actually. Maybe it's pretty good against creativity. Yeah, so my opponent needs another blue mana. They get coding? So weird. Maybe it's okay. That's my take on Lord of the Rings. Feels like Commander Horizons. I mean, it kind of is. It's more so Commander Horizons than Modern Horizons 2. Sorry, the laugh was too hard, but it's like people said the exact same thing about Modern Horizons 2. Like the amount of comments of like Modern Horizons 2 is Commander Horizons always made me laugh a lot, and I just kind of like had flashbacks to that. Just like Commander Horizons 2 5-head. But yeah, I think Lord of the Rings is more, every Magic set is focused on Commander cards. Every Magic set is focused on Commander cards. And then it's okay. One thing that's really bizarre to me about modern card design is every Magic set has a ton of like design considerations for Commander, but also there's extra Commander set in as well. So I do think that that's kind of weird. That being said, there are lots of like exciting cards for Modern. There's like it's about as many as a standard set, maybe above average for a standard set. With like particularly like the One Ring is like a really broken card. Like I kind of feel like to some extent, and I said this on the Dive Down podcast, which isn't out yet, so a little bit of a preview there. Make sure to watch it this week or listen to it this week. Okay, I'm not saying that the One Ring is as good as Oko. I do not believe that the One Ring is as good as Oko. But as far as card evaluation goes, I think that there's kind of a similar dynamic, a similar effect going on that we had with Oko, where the One Ring was spoiled a long time ago in the same way Oko was spoiled a long time before Throne of Eldraine. And I think that like when a card gets spoiled so early, it just kind of sits in your memory and you kind of forget about it and you don't know how good it is because you haven't play tested with it. But I think it's like easily the best card in Lord of the Rings, and I'm so hyped for it. I think the card is the more I think about the Lord of the Rings set, the more I think the One Ring is like the best card by a lot. And I think that like as far as like the collective unconsciousness card evaluation, I think that dynamic feels like it's happening, if that makes sense. Yeah, like Oko was also like I think similarly slept on because it was spoiled earlier, at least. I guess Silex down. Did I cast the Doom? I did. Yeah, it was me, Doom, and Shane. It's like the card is like tons of cards, has built-in protection from its downside because you can just legend rule it if you're losing too much life. And like the protection from everything mode is like really good in the current metagame, and it's indestructible, you know. and it's indestructible. I'm really hyped for the One Ring. Do you think the One Ring keeps a value if it's not placed on the reserve list? Are you talking? I'm sure you're talking about the one of One Ring. They're never printing another copy of that card. There's no way. There's no way they'll make it the strongest one. It's kind of a dump if it's... Yeah, I mean, I agree to some extent. Like, when I was consulting on the set, and I can't say, like, what the ring was, but it was very different, and it was much weaker when I was consulting on the set. And I need to go back on my notes and, like, look and see, like, if I gave... Like, what feedback, if any, I gave on the ring at the time. But I am, I think, happy that the ring is, like, an exciting and powerful card instead of a, like... you know, unmemorable kind of mediocre card, if that makes sense. Okay, let's get a Feast and Famine, I think, here. Do you think Modern Horizons is considered lower power when compared to a set like Modern Horizons 2? There is no set like Modern Horizons 2. I guess if you're saying which is more powerful, Modern Horizons 1 or 2, I'd say that Modern Horizons 1 has a few cards that are better than any card in MH2, like Arkham's Astrolabe and Hogak are banned, like should still be banned. There's no card from Modern Horizons 2, like at the moment, like no card got banned from MH2. But I think overall, like the more flat power level of MH2 is higher than MH1. So that you know, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, right? Am I responsible for Frodo Determined Hero nerf? I don't think so. I can't remember. I need to like look at my notes, but I don't think it ever could equip a hammer. We're really gonna Ratchet Bomb a Grazer. I might. What? Where did this come from? A pirate spell bomb? Is this like for... What is this for? Magus? That's cool, actually. I think that's gotta be for Magus, right? Yeah, Saga target, of course, but like more specifically, like what are you trying to target, right? A little bit awkward to get, you know, another one drop. Maybe she got Fervent Champ, but I do think I'm just running out second Ratchet Bomb here too. Probably should cycle that spell bomb. Oh, sorry, I meant to attack with Mr. Damage. Yeah, we 5-0'd the last league. What decks am I most excited to use the One Ring in? I mean, I'm definitely most excited for it in, like, we've talked a lot about the 8-key combo deck. It's like such a random, weird, perfect fit for that deck. But there's several other shells that I think are exciting for it. I kind of want to keep some cards close to my chest, but like I think there's like at least like one really obvious great shell for it, and then I think there's like a few other like shells where it could just be a big upgrade to other archetypes. How is Astrolabe problematic but Bauble isn't? Bauble is problematic, but Arkham's Astrolabe breaks Magic. So Magic, you know, at a very simple level, is a game designed around deck building restrictions. Okay, so it's like this is probably not something that needs to have too much detail on it, but Magic, the color pie is like such an awesome mechanic for Magic, right? You have big, serious, meaningful deck building restrictions. Wait, why are they blocking like this? Oh, they're gonna Gardens to Pirate Spellbomb, I'm sure. You know, there's meaningful, important deck building restrictions because of the color pie. And Arkham's Astrolabe is like 1 mana, color pie doesn't matter. You can play any color combo you want. And like you can like literally Blood Moon your opponent as a 5-color deck. I think it replaces Forge and 12 Creed. No, it doesn't replace Forge, it replaces Scepter. You don't need to main deck the Scepters. You can just have one as a current target. Yeah, but Bauble is definitely problematic. I'm not trying to like pretend like it's not like quietly one of, if not the best cards in Modern, but which version do you think is better, Jeskai or Boros? I think I like Boros more. The Jeskai mana is awkward because like the main card you're splashing is Spell Pierce, which is 1-drop. Teferi's okay. There's definitely merits to the splash, but I think just 2 colors is better. Much better Blood Moon deck. I know it is crazy. Like the card would be like way more balanced if the activated ability just costs no. It would still be very good, but it would for real be way more balanced. Slow game, up like 10 minutes on the clock. Hot take, there will always be best cards in Modern. We should just accept that. I mean, sure, it's a little bit more nuanced than that, but of course. Is Karn bad? It feels like it'd be slow in Modern. Karn is good in big mana decks, specifically. Karn is not very good outside of decks like my opponents that can make tons of mana really fast. You could send one at them? If I don't send everything at Karn, they can chump this and keep it. Oh yeah, I consider you have 1 pound of power, but then they just block it with the Grazer, so it really isn't any different. Oh, I forgot about Gigantha. We have to Ratchet Bomb Gigantha. You ever Ratchet Bomb a Gigantha before? Orcish Bowmaster Days Undoing Wheel Pile Work in Modern. That doesn't work. Days Undoing ends the turn. You don't get your triggers. Turn is ended. Turn is ended. Bobble enables heat. Yeah. No, Bobble is like quietly like the most broken card in Modern. I'm very on board with this thought, or maybe not even quietly, maybe loudly, like one of the most broken cards. Phil greeted to 10, maybe. We could have been doing it this whole time. I feel like there's a chance we like take it up, but it kills us though. Fuck. Guess I need to take one of these up. Be a rough game to lose. Yeah, one of the games of all time. Shout out to Gigantha. So we dash Ragavan. Okay, we can still kill Karn, which is huge here. Silly to ask, would I be comfortable giving the reasons why Bobble is broken, just having a better understanding? I mean, it's just like the best enabler in the format by a lot. Like Dragon Reach's Channeler and the Holy Heat, Underworld Breach, Luris at the time, Imri for a while. There's a lot of cards that like would just not be like nearly as impactful or oppressive as. Oh, man, I punished for ticking this bomb up. Actually, yeah, I should have definitely left it on 0 because of Ballista. We do get to kill the Karn though, but it costs us like everything. One of the games of all time. Yeah, Ledger Shredder also. It's just so much better at like enabling these cards than anything else, and it comes at like such a small, and like it's also like the best cantrip too, because with fetch lands, it's a 0 mana opt with fetch lands really often, which is also just kind of silly. I mean, it's not as good as Probe, but it is still like Probe has like problems with like Demi-Lich and Arc like Phoenix, and Probe also gives you like perfect info, which is really crazy. Couldn't you hold back Ranger? I don't think so, right? Because they block the here and then the Ragavan. I guess because we do the Fervent Champ, we could have. Sure. So they should attack with Gigantha because I'm about to Ratchet Bomb it. It'd be good to hold the Braum on 5 though, because they have I don't want to oh wow. No. I should probably be ticking this up instead. Doesn't really matter, graveyard or not, I guess. Okay, we're looking for a Stoneforge Mystic. We're looking for a Stoneforge Mystic. Looking for a Stoneforge Mystic. Not as good. Promise remove this free cantrip with information. Not sure. As sure it says not information, it's a premise. It's I don't know. This is like feels like a very nitpicky argument where it's like it's almost just apples. Maybe I should be taking both bombs up here, right? I should have been. I don't know, but yeah, there just feels like kind of nitpicky, I guess, where you're like technically correct, but I feel like you're missing the point a little bit. You know, does that make sense? Where like Probe gives you perfect information and Bobble gives you your opponent's top card. Like the difference is insane there. You know what I mean? It's not that Probe was brand because it gives you some information. It gives you perfect info. There's a huge difference. Our top decks have also been, you know, for what it's worth, pretty garbage. But yeah, both are pretty broken. But the whole argument that you have to ban all 0-mana cantrips that give you info is, I think, missing the point a little bit. Okay, let's Solitude the Gigantha. I guess it's better to Solitude the Golos. Solitude Golos means that they can't draw Timeless Lotus and spin Golos. Solitude Ballista? No, we can't let them spin Golos. Probably cast this, right? Well, Ballista is a problem they start design pay for. It's not as big a problem as them spinning Golos. We're dead, for sure, if they start spinning. They don't need to draw Lotus, they have Gigantha. I know, the point is kill Golos or kill Gigantha. So I've killed Golos so they can't draw Timeless Lotus. I'm like so sure I said exactly this. But who would listen to poor old Aspiring Spike, huh? Wow, let me draw a card. Very nice of them. They have an Amulet, an Imracool, which they shouldn't be able to cast. Another Escape, so we'll definitely be Ranger-Captaining them, and the Upkeep next turn. I'm so pissed that we might, like, Filgry Silex them for 10 damage this game. That we, like, probably could have. After I keep going, it'll never ever happen. They find another Golos. Can I please find like a Stoneforge or... Well, the top of my library has been pretty cruel to me. Solitude is pretty good. Yeah, we just main phase Solitude the Gigantha so we can get in. The Ballista is still a problem, but they're going to use their mana to Golos next turn, I would guess. And also, like, being able to attack is just so nice. It's inspiring to me, Skulk, but I've posted like 3 TikToks ever. Maybe I'll post a 4th one day. No, Gigantha mana can't be used to add counters to Ballista. What a game. So all these are gone. They can't Emrakul this turn. They concede? Let's go. Easy game. Too bad we don't have a second land. Let's mulligan, I think. Could see some, you know, universes where I keep that hand, though. Probably put back Enganjo. Wait, there was a prediction? Was there a prediction for that game? Will Spike Silex for 10 this game? Oh man, it was close. We maybe should have too. This is the funny thing. Because we like it's like such a weird situation where like 1, we draw all 3 Ratchet Bombs as Silexes, and 2, the board state is so clogged because of Blood Mooning and Arboreal Grazer. Just like all the stars aligned and it still didn't happen. I think Bobble has the problem of shutting down other types of strategies that'd be viable, but rather play Deer City Bobble. Yeah, sure, a little bit. Like if you're playing a blue-red deck, you basically have to play Bobble. Yeah, have you ever seen this list? Very fun. Oh, don't spell snare me. You're a basic forest deck. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So usually with the Ephemerate, I think it's good to get the Kaldra, and then you kind of put the pressure on them to kill the Mystic, and you get to Ephemerate them. Well, it's kind of worse if they have like Binding plus Stub. Does that make sense to play around? I think I'm okay to not play around it. Or Binding plus Bolt. They get Steam Vents. Oh, Elementals. Okay. It's my favorite deck to play with. It's my favorite deck to win with. I don't really... I don't know. I don't have any favorite deck besides... Is it Timeless Lotus, maybe? I like whatever deck I'm winning with. I like whatever deck I'm currently playing, usually. Had some slow opponents today. I feel like my opponent definitely has Ephemerate, so let's think. Oh, they just let the evoke happen, never mind. I don't know if they stacked the trigger wrong or if they just don't have it, but I think save Ragavan and then flicker the Stoneforge next turn seems kind of good. How's the Titan matchup for Timeless Lotus? Titan's favored, I think, because they get to bring out all these Force of Vigors game 2. So land's a good draw, most spells are good draws. We get to put a Sophie in our hand if they don't have Solitude. Do we think that they have Solitude? I don't think that they do. You think about modern Total Storm? I like Total Storm. I think it's hard deck to build. I think it's maybe a little underexplored, although I have tried to play it a few times and I'm not really sure like what the best way to build the deck is. There's like a lot of different builds. Kind of a funny hit. In very good shape, though. Attack with Monkey, make 5th mana, Heartgust seems easy. Yeah, but they're probably trading Reef for Monkey, right? I think that this line's better because of that. Like, I like their life total is just not high enough where they can afford to not make that trade even, I would think. Yeah, this is what we 5-0'd with. Same 75. Definitely bringing the rest of the Blood Moons in. Probably want like 1 Forge-Tender for Fury, but they oftentimes only play 1 Fury, so I don't even know. Not really sure. I think I want to go down, Ephemerate there. It's a Fairy deck, like, and then like 2 Solitudes maybe, and play this. Could play the Feast and Famine too over the Batterskull. Probably okay. Let's try this. Could build this you know a few different ways post board. I don't think you want Giant Killer for Omnath. It's like all it kills. Although it does kill Hellish Storm too. Not sure how scared of Hellish Storm I'm supposed to be. A lot of like weird variables here. What's the middle to 6? Wonder if anybody in chat has like strong opinions on how to sideboard. Is Giant Killer just a 2 to target toolbox? Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Yeah, we did 0-2 the first league, so we're 6-2 on the day. So we got like stomped by Burn. Like what? Like that game was like again like we maybe would have won if it was open deck list, which is kind of an interesting dynamic. Like your Blood Moons become like a lot better in open deck list, which is cool. But there's also like I can't. What was the second match? I know we got stomped the first 2 matches, and I can't remember what match number 2 was. Does anybody remember? Maybe nobody's been here that long. I strongly think Giant Killer is good. I don't know. Plus, we have a lot of answers for Omnath though. But is it good just because we like also want to answer Norn? Because that might be the case. So it could be we could just play a. I think we played Giant Killer or Forge-Tender, probably not both. We beat Belcher. Yeah, it was the Boros Convoke deck. It was the Boros Convoke deck. Although they were playing a different build. They were playing Squadron Hawk and Force. Pretty Lights, 38 months. Thank you. Good morning. If you pitch cast an opponent's Solitude because of Rag and Ephemerate, does it come back to your control or your opponent's? I believe it's your control. But it should say on Ephemerate either your control or owner's control. That's the line of text that matters. Okay, Pending is not so bad. No, we beat Belcher. We beat Belcher round 1 of League 2. Despite that matchup being, like, historically one of the worst matchups for this archetype we won. Under its owner's control. Yeah, okay, so I was wrong. Comes back under owner's control. I think Cloud Shift is your control. Cloud Shift Restoration Angel are your control, so the text is a little different. Yeah, no Trepidation Blade today. Wow, so Cloud Shift is not a strict downside to Ephemerate. Yeah, you used to like Zealous Conscripts, Restoration Angel back in the day. Those were the days. Okay, 5 cards in my opponent's hand. One of them is a Flooded Strand. Doing an account of every card in Snap. I'm just using my own account. When they reached out, they like asked me if I had played before, and I had played before. I ended up making a new account just for the stream because I wanted the Aspiring Spike handle. Yeah, they didn't offer an account with all the cards because they wanted people who had played the game before too, and I ended up getting like even more into it than I had been over the weekend also. I believe you can change your handle anytime. Really? I think my new account has more cards than my old account too. I put a lot of hours into it in like the last 4 days. I played it all the way down to the beach and all the way up to the beach. But I did make a new account. That's funny. Okay, so I mean they got a Solitude probably. It's not worth getting into. I really like it. I really like it. Like I don't take sponsorships of like things I don't believe in or don't like. I like Marvel Snap a lot. Obviously, like it's not for everybody, and like to some extent, like it's difficult to balance like multiple card games. But like at least from like a casual perspective, it's like for me very fun to just like casually play Marvel Snap like after like competitively playing Magic a lot. And the game is just like very fun, easy to get into, and there's a lot of variance that like makes the game like really like I don't know fun. I've been enjoying it a lot. It's been great to like sit and like play it while Esther plays Tears of the Kingdom, and I like the game a lot. I've been like really wanting a Marvel Snap sponsorship for like the longest time. I'm really happy they finally reached out. I guess about Raid. I mean, you hear me shit talk Raid all the time. like Raid has offered me like so much money over the years, and I've luckily been able to not have to take the Raid sponsorship. Okay. Pretty good. Yeah, I think I should give him the on the Giant Killer, huh? Think I play those. The economy of the game is similar to other card games like Hearthstone. I think so. Yeah, it's not like anything too revolutionary. Yeah. I've definitely accused Raid of being a money laundering front too many times to ever take the sponsorship. Because like they have to be. You know what I mean? It's like how are they not? Yeah, I don't think you get the living weapon, but we can like spend 7 mana then equip it, I guess. I don't know. Like Raid Shadow Legends is such a like mid game to like be so like to throw so much money every month. Like I have no evidence to support my theory that they are actually a money laundering front, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, people say whales, and like, listen, that might be right. That might be right. There's even a good chance that it's right, but okay, we get to keep this captain around. But it just doesn't make any sense to me when like I feel like whales would want a whale for like any other game. Digital Bitch is not a good... Yeah, again, I'm just talking out of my ass. I'm mostly just saying with this thesis that I don't really get it. I don't really get Raid Shadow Legends. It's like Genshin Impact, but Genshin Impact is a cool game, I think. Like, people really like that one. Like, I like have just basically never heard anybody like be like, I love Raid Shadow Legends, this game is sick. But I could be wrong. Maybe there's lots of people like that. I think I moved this over here. But again, I don't know anything about anything. Doesn't get play Raid for fun? Maybe he does. I don't know. Like, does anybody in chat like Raid Shadow Legends? Genuinely, I'm genuinely asking. No judgment. Like, I've never played the game. I've watched the game. It doesn't look like terrible, but it just like to me, it doesn't look like a game I'd spend any money on. Sponsor paid bills? Of course, I'm not like talking bad about anybody who takes the Raid sponsorship. I get it. They paid really well. But it's just, I'm just saying I don't get it, is my point. I know somebody spent thousands on it. Yeah, like, this kind of feedback is good. This kind of feedback, like, you know, maybe it makes sense, right? I have 300 hours and Raid on Steam will give 7 10. Okay, sure. This is good feedback. Got a poll going. That was first sight almost looks like a green ponder. It's not. It's much worse, I think. A few Sentinels for Forge-Tenders. I think they probably only play, like, 1 Fury, though. Like, most of these lists just play, like, 1 Fury. So it's tough. Sentinel's also fine. They play like, you know, they're like a Teferi, Rin 6, removal spell back. Yeah, I've never played any of the Diablo games. I watched Everos stream some of it though. Seems like a game I would maybe like, but probably better to not get into it. Alright, let's go. Also, I feel like all of my opponents have been playing so slow today. It's been so weird. T done? 20 months, thank you. How many money laundering fronts have paid a huge amount for advertising, which involves giving away shit tons of money to develop a game as well, becoming a no brand? Well, isn't it? Well, so again, I don't know anything. I'm so dumb. I didn't graduate college. I'm dumb. Whatever. But wouldn't like advertising be like a great way? I feel like a mobile game would be a perfect money laundering front, as someone who doesn't know anything about anything, right? Because it's you like obviously have to spend a lot of money on advertising, so like it looks legit, but then you just get to pump all of your dirty money into the game, and it's like immediately laundered through online microtransactions, right? Like, to me, it feels like the perfect money laundering gig. I'm wrong. Yeah, I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong. I probably am. It's because it's digital. There's extensive records of every transaction. Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. FTX is like a good example of like really mismanaged assets, but I don't know. I didn't graduate college. I've never laundered money before either. Yeah, I've seen Breaking. Yeah, the extent of my knowledge has seen Breaking Bad a few times. Although, y'all, if it ever comes out that I'm right and it is actually laundered money, I'm gonna be so happy. I'm gonna be I told you so all stream long. This is, of course, all just speculation and not a serious thought in my tiny little brain. The baddest, 3 months, thank you. Hack, 12 months, thank you. Yeah, put it mold to 4, give me a card of Sentinel, Blood Moon on. I think we're getting there. What mobile game am I currently developing? I mean, we're doing a Marvel Snap stream later today, but I really like Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap is a game like I actually play, and I think it's a lot of fun, and like a lot of my friends like it, and it's like cool, and I like Marvel Snap a lot. I'm really excited for today. You can ask Esther. I've been playing like nonstop. Is Canyon not good? I think the channel lands are better because you're a Blood Moon deck, but it's like it's not super lopsided one way or another, to be honest. I guess it's like best to just like play second Sophie. Oh, or we could have gone Quip Sophie to Sentinel, then cast Ragavan. I don't know. Probably hard to lose this game. Yeah, the UFL whistleblower stuff's kind of fun. I was talking to a friend about it yesterday. I don't know. It's like it's always good to be like I think skeptical about that kind of stuff. But I definitely have a friend who's like she's like really thinks that this is the real deal. I like drag plus equip. Yeah, I think I've been fine too. Governments handled COVID. It just doesn't feel like any government is competent enough to like conceal a multinational arms race, or multinational alien arm race, which is what this national security person is saying is happening. That there's like all like the countries of the world are behind closed doors, secretly reverse engineering alien technology and all this stuff. Whoa, we are getting Gigantha Darksteel Relict. And so, but also, like, you have to ask yourself, like, why would someone, like, lie? What the fuck? Why would someone lie about something like this? This is sick. And to me, I think, like, the only real answer to, like why, like, a former national security agent would, like, come to national news and lie about something like this is, like, either, like, they have some mental issues, or they like committed a crime and they're trying to become like some kind of public figure, some kind of like public figure with media attention, so that if the government like prosecutes them for the crime, then it looks like they're trying to cover up the alien conspiracies. Yeah, this is again just like my Raid Shadow Legends thing, just kind of baseless or whatever. But that could be an explanation for like why people do this, is they just don't want to get arrested for a crime, and it's kind of like a Hail Mary. Yeah, it makes some money too. And also, like, one like really telling thing is like what that's so weird is that he says that he never saw anything, but it's all of his like stuff is from like people telling him about it, which doesn't make any sense. If people are blabbing their mouths about the aliens, if people are just blabbing about the aliens all the time, how has it been like so covered up, you know? So that doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I don't know. You can. It's okay. We can. You know, don't need to talk too much about the UFOs. Again, I don't know anything about anything. Not even magic. Is it better to go for? It's probably better to just Sophie my opponent actually than hardcast Solitude. Nice, I have the Solitude pitch up, and I have the. I get to kill a goblin, block a goblin. Yeah. One more thing about aliens too. So the leaker's like aliens are crashing on our planet all the time. Okay, there's like alien wreckage everywhere. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that there's tons of alien wreckage. How are aliens able to do intergalactic planetary travel, but they keep crashing into Earth? It doesn't make any sense at all. Like that like to me. To me, like, this is, like, the most sus thing. The idea that aliens are so advanced that they can travel throughout the galaxy, but somehow crash into Earth all the time. So, this is my my last thought on the aliens, so we can move on. They found alcohol. That's like the funniest thing I've heard on the topic. It's the 5G. They mastered faster line acceleration, but not negative acceleration. Damn. Yeah, and they crashed into the US specifically. I don't know, it's okay. It's fun. It's fun to think about aliens sometimes. Man, dude, I love that they're hopping us. Alright, let's go. If only I had a red card last turn, huh? Don't have a red card this turn either. Taking 4 more damage. We can Fury them next turn, though. We're like kind of close to stabilizing. So we go down to 4, and then we go Ranger-Captain for a red card, Fury. Don't hopper me, no! Okay, Gigant in hand. Dodge the hopper. Drawing a lot of lands. Thank you, Philippe, with the 5 months. Glad you're liking the brews. I guess we play as Sophie instead of channeling Sukenzan. Yeah, the Mismatch Mountains are a vibe for sure. Okay, they have a Gleeful demo. I guess that makes some sense, huh? They want to hold up the channel Sokuzan to have some blockers against some hasty guys. What I'm saying is Giganta 3 mystery cards. So I'm kind of scared that they're like saving up for a big Kadotha Rebirth turn. So I think I'm going to play kind of cautiously here and go Ranger-Captain for Forge-Tender instead of Ranger-Captain for Ragavan. Maybe if they have Goblin Grenade in their deck, some of these mono-red builds do. So here comes Giganta. So let's attack with everything but Forge-Tender, and then hit them for 5, then Fury the Giganta. It's such a good start, but couldn't really follow it up, I guess. Yeah, Shrapnel Blast and Grenade could be either one for sure. I don't know if it was right to like sack the Ranger Captain. I don't really think it was. I think I was wrong though. Yeah, I think I was wrong. Good draw. They only have one card in their hand. This castle is actually pretty scary, though. Oh, good timing on the castles. They get an extra life, right? Alright, pretty good blocks. We lose these 4. But, we have lethal on the crackback, and we have Fortune up still. We're at 7. Cool. We've won our last 8 matches in a row, which is pretty exciting. You know, I've always felt like this deck's pretty underrated. It's like one of like the classic Inspiring Spike decks I always crush with, and not that many people play. This build is also feeling pretty good too. Some lands in this one. Like I said, top decks have not been good today. How do you consider that for testing? I don't know. It's just like you see a big sample size, right? The obvious upgrades to this deck, Lord of the Rings. I think the white remand is pretty exciting. I think it's a card I would want to play test in this deck for sure. I think Frodo and the other equipment are not very exciting for this deck, unfortunately. I really wish I felt differently, but I don't think that those cards are big deals at all. Yeah, we've just been heavy airing all day today. What's the white remand do? It's a little bit different than remand. It is just 1 white, 1 colorless, return target spell to its owner's hand, draw a card. Yeah, I wouldn't play Fortune here, I think. Maybe 1 copy, but it's so many 3-drops is tough. And so it's different than remand in the sense that it can interact with uncounterable spells, so it's better. It's also better than remand because it doesn't get disputed and it doesn't get Veil of Summered. So like not that you would play this card in blue-white control, but if you were going to, it would be better. So they're probably playing Murktide. I think I'm going to Blood Moon them, just like, there's a good chance that this cuts them off of Counterspell Murktide. There's also a good chance that, like, my Blood Moon is, like, never good at any point in this game, and I'm on a mulligan on the play, I need to use my cards. Obviously, the Spell Pierce is tough. Sam Stealthheart could be interesting, picking up Evoked Elementals. I mean, it's okay. I don't think it's, like, really, honestly, anything super special there. Bad draw. We have a good matchup, I think, at least here, so even if we lose this game, this is not a matchup I dislike very much. Yeah, we could play test the new Sam. The new Frodo seems kind of decent. The more I think about the card, the more I think it's like way worse than any like 1-mana spell you could realistically play. Like it's not better than any of the 1-drops we're currently playing. It's not better than Stoneforge Mystic. It's not better than Ranger-Captain. It's not better than like Giver of Runes would be probably. I just don't know. Thought you'd change your mind and played Ranger after they got Steam Vents. Maybe, I don't know. It's like we're on a mold of 6 in the play. I kind of feel like I need to use the cards, but maybe Ranger-Captain was the better line because of Pierce. White Human seems like it would make humans ridiculous. I don't really think so. Maybe it'd be okay. Like, maybe more of a sideboard option. But, like, humans is not, like, known for its ability to hold up counter magic very well. Let's just go game 2. Can see what my next card would have been. Yeah, not castable. I don't know. Maybe a little early. I think that's okay. Alright, so I want at least 2 Rest in Peace. I want the Giant Killer. I want no Blood Moons. Oh, do I like the Batterskull or not? I can't remember if I like the Batterskull in this matchup. It's been a while. I think we're going to cut the Batterskull. And then go down to like 2 Furies. Maybe I think I'll play 1 Fury 3 rep. Could be good to do 2-2, but let's do 1 Fury 3 rep. Mosh, 7 months, thank you. Like Dashing Ragavan, they only have 1 blue up, has to be good. I mean, maybe. Yeah, maybe that was a better line. Like, if the Blood Moon resolves, though, and they have, like, Murktide and Counterspell, like, this is, like, a good way to, like steal a game when we're on the mold to play in this kind of matchup. Thanks much for again for the 7. When do you get the Elementals Ragavan reprint? Ragavan was reprinted in Mom. Yeah, I don't know about the Elementals, though. Blue-White Control decks will probably win the new Right Remand 2. What's the name of the card? I don't know the name of the card. I'm sure someone in chat can tell you. I don't know if Blue-White Control plays it, but It is really nice that it gets around like Veil of Summer Dispute, and it could end up testing better than you think. There's not really many uncounterable cards. I mean, it gets through Cavern of Souls on Titan. It's kind of something. Okay, another kind of awkward hand. Use your pull to get WotC, Snapcaster Legal Pioneer. Yeah, all my pull at WotC. I don't know. You don't want Snapcaster Legal and Pioneer. You don't want the heartbreak of finding out that the card is just like not very good. I promise. Consider. Yeah, I like Liliana. Liliana's okay, right? Sees like a little bit of play. Snapcaster would be okay. I would see a little bit of play. Third Solitude. Be good at Marine Slidescape Shift. They play over 3 mans. Sure, yeah. Not like a huge upgrade, but yeah, any deck that's currently playing Remand, this is a small upgrade too. It's usually not a matchup I mind too much, but like the classic like mulligan, draw triple Solitude on your opening hand. Tough for sure. Could still get there, but Sentinel's a very good card in the matchup. Could you ever imagine a world where we'd be questioning if Snapcaster and Bob were strong enough in Modern like a couple years ago? A couple years ago? Yeah. You know, Red and 6 was printed 4 years ago, and that's like when Bob started to be like a particularly bad choice, although was honestly a pretty bad choice before then too. Snapcaster too. Snapcaster was better for longer. But I don't know. I think it's funny how just we have all the boomers in the chat that like are like they just banned Splinter Twin last year. I know it. It was not that long ago we had Splinter Twin. I mean, they definitely have Counterspell up, so I think if I'm gonna go Solitude Ephemerate, I'll do it on my turn so I get to draw a card. I do remember when I was first streaming, I was playing a lot of Ren and 6 and Jund, and I got so many questions about like, wait, is Ren and 6 really better than Dark Confidant? What the heck? How is Ren and 6 better than Dark Confidant? Just over and over and over. Have you found anything you like what I thought in testing? This deck is probably like the best example of that. Like today has been a great day with Boros, and I'm pretty happy with the list we've got today too, and things are going well. Because we get to draw a card. Let's just draw another Ephemerate, shall we? Fervent Champ. They only have 2 cards in their hand. We could maybe pull this one out. I guess they have 4 cards in hand, actually. Classic Murktide. No, I think we're going to play Goblins tomorrow. Or sure, maybe not tomorrow. Because there's downtime. We'll play later this week for sure. Aether Spike with the 19. Thank you, thank you. Explosives. But if the explosives on 1, it's, you know, 2 for 2. Got some good draws here, of course. Not the worst. Not very. I mean, ain't the best either. I wish Modern would have just given Modern Swords to Plowshares and not put a body on it. So, Swords to Plowshares would have been a bigger mistake to add to Modern than Solitude, and like, I don't understand how like this conversation happens so often. But Swords is much better than Solitude, in my opinion. Although, and I know, like, I think it probably just comes from a place, honestly, of people wanting Snapcaster Mage to be like the best card in Modern still. But it just always shocks me how often I hear this sentiment of they should have printed Swords instead of Solitude. Yeah, creativity with Swords would be so crazy. Yeah, I mean, imagine this game, like this game we're playing right now. If I just had 3 Swords of Plowshares instead of 3 Solitudes, I'd be pretty happy. Yeah, it's all like blue-white control players, like so like coping so hard too. I don't know. Okay, I think our 8-match win streak is coming to an end. I know, I think I'm binding too. MTG Goldfish is probably the best site for percentages ever. Why am I playing this out? I don't know. We maybe could pack it in. The thing is, like, they're just like not even popping their explosives. Oh, great. Okay. Maybe there's a chance. How do I rip Domain Zoo? They'll be mad, but I think Domain Zoo is just not very good. It's not. Domain Zoo is also not very bad. It's like, it's a deck. It's a deck that people can have an okay win percentage with. It is a deck that is really, really bad on the draw. It's a deck that I think it can be very clunky. It's so soft to Blood Moon, but it's just not great. It's also a deck that people really, really love. You know what I mean? Like, people love Domain Zoo. They don't want to hear that it's bad. If the Evoke Elementals were worded where they couldn't be scammed or blinked, would they be healthier cards in the format or just too weak? I don't know. They'd be significantly nerfed. I think that it would solve a lot of problems for sure. In the Titans days, you think it's still tier 1, 1.5? That's like 1.67. Titan's not very well positioned. It's like, if you're a Titan master, it's fine, but I wouldn't really recommend it. I always hate these games where, like, you're losing by a lot and your opponents are just playing so slowly. You're just, like, dying to get the game over with. The elementals shouldn't have been creatures at all. They should have been spells. What does that mean? Like, okay, I can see the iteration. What does that mean? Like, what does the text on this card say? 5 mana, exile target creature, gain life equal to the power, or evoke. 3 mana? I don't know. I don't hate the Evoke Incarnations, honestly. It just plays at any amount, any degree of reasonable speed. I feel like every opponent today is just every turn so slow. Okay, it's okay that you're Tron as long as you play fast. Stop that Ragavan into Blood Moon would be so cool. Free to put against Pyrokinesis? Yeah, for sure. Don't think that had to be, though. I think I'm going to save my treasure token here. So I can hit them with a sword. Maybe it's good to, like, just cast Sentinel, get battered. Like, get Kaldra, cast Sentinel, though. Be better against Wormcoil, too. I'm going to grab some Besage. Just kind of an interesting dynamic here. Or are you on Blood Moon over Magus? Blood Moon is, like, way better to main deck than Magus in, like, the creativity lightning bolt format. Alright, let's try to Stirrings into a land. Yeah, I suppose I disagree with the thesis that Moon is better. Yeah, creativity is very good against Magus and very weak against Blood Moon. I think for the most part you're gonna want to main deck Moon and then bring it in, like it's hard, like it's like specifically creativity where it's just hard to bring it in. But you can bring in. You want to see a fancy play? Everybody wake up. You want to see a fancy play? Or hold on. Yeah. So we go activate Stoneforge Mystic, Ephemerate Stoneforge Mystic. Then they respawn with the Oblivion Stone, then we Ephemerate again. So we get the Kaldra. They blow up the world, this fizzles, then we put the Kaldra into play, and we have a reasonable amount of pressure on them. It's nice that we know they have Boseiju too, and this gets through Boseiju. Still, obviously, lots of stuff that we are weak to. What happened?
I threw a carrot into the hallway and she slipped while running.
Boseiju, 4 mystery cards. Huh. Giganta into the hand. Not really any point to playing anything pre-combat because we still just have 2 mana total. That was fast. Have you made such plays before? Yeah. Yeah. You can't always make sweet plays, but I've got some experience making sweet plays, I guess. Dude, Kaldra is soloing right now. What the hell? Yeah, I think your main deck leveler is so good in Tron. No, they have Giganta, they just couldn't cast it. Yeah, Maul would be really nice this game, for sure. But we can equip a sword onto Fervent Champ next turn, thanks to the Power Stone being able to be sunk into Stoneforge. Okay. Just a general advice: always let your opponent resolve their Stoneforge trigger before you kill it. Just like don't give them the information that the Stoneforge is dying before they tutor. So the hand is right now just Giganta Boseiju. That's gonna be hard to beat. If we draw a red card, we're in really good shape. Or sorry, we're not in really good shape, but we can make like a good play. No, sorry, we can't because we still can't Fervent Champion and Sword and pitch the card. So I guess our best draw is Ephemerate to scam the Fury. Still not dead. Oof, punt. Who punted? Did I punt? Their hand is right now just a Boseiju. Still just a Boseiju. So we'll make them Boseiju the Sophie, I guess. At some point. Because they could also Blast Zone me. They Boseiju the Sentinel. I'm kind of happy they chose this instead, but I don't think it matters a ton. I think if we draw exactly Fervent Champ... Oh, they have Blast Zone up. We're getting him too. Okay. Did my best. Tried so hard. Got so far. Didn't even matter. Alright. Feast and Famine over Batterskull. 2 Blood Moons in. I think I want at least 1 Wear Tear. Like being able to kill Bridge is has been like a bit more relevant than I have thought in the past. Well, Solitude and Fury are both pretty bad in this matchup. So maybe we do something like 2 Wear Tear, 2 Fury, 2 Solitude. But mostly we just want like Ragavan into Blood Moon. Yeah, Fury kills Walker sometimes. Scamming Fury as like a 6/6 is kind of okay. I think Fury is better than Solitude against their Planeswalkers. Yeah, but Solitude hits like Leveler and Worm Coil, which is not irrelevant. I think I always lead on Ragavan in this matchup. Surprised to see a Relic post board. Golos, man. How I wish I could cast that. They probably went full wish board. Yeah, but you could still cut some copies for like Karn targets sometimes, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Do I want another Ragavan? I think Yeah, I think I want another Ragavan over the extra power for Fervent Champ. Just like the ability to like hit a Karn, liberate it when the game is too nice. For a dog, 30 months. I'm also not going to play around Nattytron. Maybe they have it, but I'm not going to sack the Ranger Captain yet. We're like still in a bad shape against Nattytron anyways. There it is. Thanks, Fern, with the 30. How's the testing going so far? I'm playing a lot of different stuff. Trying not to form too many opinions. Okay, Wear Tear should be pretty nice against this Karn here. Wonder what they get. Ballista? Pineapple, thank you for the Twitch Prime. When do you want Blood Moon versus Magus? It just kind of depends on like what like specifically you're trying to target. But for the most part, I almost never would recommend main decking Magus of the Moon. Oh right, the Karn. Okay. I would recommend main decking Blood Moon at the moment. It's kind of the big difference. Okay, so get to put this on here, hold up Wear Tear, and then upkeep sack the Ranger Captain. E-Tron is better though. So what about colorless Tron that doesn't play the Eldrazi and just plays like good colorless cards? I don't know. A scale of Eldrazi Tron to Eldrazi Winter. That's a pretty good scale. I like the thought. Eldrazi decks are fine. The 4-color Omnath decks are fine. I don't really have a super strong opinion on which build is the best though. I think that like they're all very close, and I kind of like the recommissioned Elementals deck still over. I should have played the Advantage over like 4-color Omnath, but it's like at the very least not a very strong opinion. Ooh, what the hell? We can cast that. Thank you, Ragavan. Have you thanked your Ragavan today? Alright, there's a mine in the graveyard, so I'll target mine with Karn. How did that get in the graveyard, actually? Did they discard? They go to discard? Oh, I sort of Feast and Famine discard. Right. Mobies for the 12 months. Thank you. Right. Happy anniversary, Mobius. Thanks for the 12 months. Yeah, Ragavan is so dumb. Ragavan into Blood Moon on the draw and a 7-card hand. Mulligan. Opponent kept 7. Qualify for PT in Athens. I've been playing Modern since Devoted Druid was good. No idea what to pick. 4 Blood Moons main deck or Creativity. I mean, there's like a lot of other things you could do, but Creativity is definitely not a bad choice. I am, of course, also trying to figure out what to play. Ooh. Can play Expedition Map. Get a Plains. They did have Nattytron again. And they have Besage You. Thankfully, we have second Blood Moon. If I hit Karn Liberated, I should probably still cast it, though. Okay, thankfully, I didn't and don't have to make a tricky decision. Yeah, they kept 7 again. I mean, they kept 7 Nattytron. Why would you mulligan, right? The Trump play Force of Vigor. It's not very common. They also don't have it in their deck because of Giganta. I have seen it though. Run it in the tank. I like that they waited to cast a card until they knew what they wanted to do with it. Don't always see that. They get Oblivion Stone? That's not so good for me. Got a couple Wear Tears in the deck to draw to. Could also hit like their own Karn off the Ragavan here. I don't think I want to play the Sentinel, but it's like, kind of okay if they don't have another land. But if they don't have another land, we're doing okay anyways. We can draw Wear Tear. Okay, can't hit them with anything irrelevant there. Karn. Okay. So I mean, I think that I just have to like hope they're not sandbagging land, or hope they don't rip a land. Do you think they were ever sandbagging a land there? I don't know. Maybe. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just like demonic tutor for Feast and Famine and let this happen. Not the worst demonic tutor. Also very interesting, their Blast Zone has no counters on it here, which is nice. Maybe Sophie would have been better though. Really fighting for her life over here. Yeah, maybe Sophie was better. Well, Crowbar wouldn't have been fast enough because it doesn't have haste. If they have nothing, we draw a land, we're okay. Oh, they this was, my opponents played this whole match really well. They knew I had Kaldra as the last card. Hitting my land is a great play here. Okay, 2-0, oh, sorry, 0-2, 5-0, 3-2. Honestly, like, kind of a normal day with Boros. Okay. Well, see you in 4. Thank you for the 6 months. Hope you're doing well today. I guess it's